What's going on, everyone? In this video, we are going to go ahead and unbox not just a regular iPhone 13. I see what I did there, but we're also going to go ahead and unbox the iPhone 13 Pro, both of which are in their blue selected color. So this is that new cool looking blue for the iPhone Pro, which is like a lighter color. Then we just went with the standard dark blue was the iPhone 13. So for the iPhone 13 this year, they're calling the blue color Sierra Blue, and then for the regular 13, it's just called blue. Both come in a variety of different color choices to choose from. The iPhone 13 Pro comes available in the Sierra Blue, silver, gold, and a new graphite, which I believe replaces the space gray. And then when it comes to the regular 13s, the iPhone 13s, it comes available in 5 unique color choices to choose from. You got a choice between pink, the blue we have here, midnight, starlight, and of course the product red. Now I bought both of these phones unlocked, which means for the iPhone 13 Pro, there's no additional $30 you have to pay for some odd reason. But for the iPhone 13 mini and the 13 regular one like I have here, it's an additional $30 for some odd reason. Apple did the same thing last year, but if you buy it through a carrier with their carrier SIM card and such, you don't have to pay the additional $30. Just something I wanted to quickly highlight and note for you guys. So let's go ahead and quickly unbox these things. First thing first, there's no plastic seal on the packages anymore like how they used to. Those are now gone, just like all the other new Apple products. They're trying to use less material as possible, so we just have to peel this off in order to open up the package. Here's the iPhone 13 in its fine glory. Well, iPhone 13 Pro, same thing. Peel this off. The Pros get these cool black package, and then the regular version of the iPhones come in this white package. The blue, something I want to quickly highlight, is close to the same color as you see on the iMacs. The new redesigned one, as you could tell, was the iPhone Pros. These two colors are very similar. Now this continues the same blue color that we saw last year was the iPhone 12s. So screen protector not included, but it does have this peel thing you have to remove. Both, again, standard was USB-C, no brick unfortunately. And here's the SIM card remover. That made a comeback. And no matching blue Apple sticker. That would have been cool if they did it, just like the iMacs. Let's see if the 13 has dark blue. It does not. Peel this off, and let's go ahead and peel this off. So placing two phones side by side, the edge is significantly different as the 13 uses the aluminum housing. Meanwhile, the Pros always use stainless steel. The camera housing is significantly different than last year. So you got the large opening right here for the LiDAR sensor. Apple managed to fit all that and keep things looking minimum, because from a far distance, it's not very noticeable. Even the camera housing is slightly bigger though on the iPhone Pro, I want to say. But yeah. Although the screen size on both of these are exactly the same, 6.1 across. Let's go ahead and power these on. Now, other exterior noticeable changes that we have to talk about is the new Face ID notch. The notch is more narrower, but notice how the speaker grill has now been moved up to the edge of the display with the body of the phone actually overall. And I gotta say, it looks really nice. Now, if we go ahead and take an iPhone 12 Pro from last year and compare it against these three phones, the power button has been adjusted, which means you are going to have to buy a new case for the 13 and the 13 Pro in case you have one of the older body styles, because everything has been significantly tweaked around to the point where it seems like Apple is forcing us to actually buy a case. Another fine example is a SIM card, but it's good to know that where the 5G antennas are located, it looks like the antennas stay in the same place, but again, the SIM card is slightly much higher on the 13 Pro, believe it or not, and then slightly higher on the 13 than it was on the 12 Pro. Just something to note, and I thought was really interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and set these phones up, and we're going to go ahead and talk more about the cameras and the other differences there is to know when choosing between the 13 and the 13 Pro. Let's get started. And then the pairing process is as easy as simply just selecting the language, and you literally just have your previous phone or Apple device nearby. You can literally tap continue, and it will actually communicate between the two different devices. You scan with your camera, and it will just literally take all the data from your main device and send it to the new device you're actually using. So let me go ahead and quickly begin this process. Well, okay, so transferring data between the phones was a terrible idea because ETA time is about 2 hours. Still cool how easy it is to do. You can do it wirelessly without having them attached to anything. I guess that's a pro, but so since this is gonna be a long while, let me just highlight some of its other specs and noticeable things between the 13 Pro and the 13. Now, with all that said, the difference between the iPhone 13 and the 13 Pro is basically this. The 13 has an entry price of $799. Additional $30 if you buy it on lock, as I previously mentioned. If you go with the Pro lineup, you don't have to pay that $30 on lock if you're just buying it out, and it starts at $999. There is 3 total storage options available for the 13. 128 gigabytes is now the new standard, and then you can upgrade to 256. And then the next step would be 512 gigabytes of internal storage. The Pro can go up to 1 terabyte, believe it or not. So the starting storage is the same as 128 gigabytes, I mean, double the amount of last year. And you could go up to 256 as well as 512, and then the 1 terabyte ridiculous option. Screen size, they are still sharing the same 6.1 inch display, but when we compare it against the previous generation with the older generation Face ID hardware, I guess I'll call this, the notch is very narrower, but it still looks almost identical, to be honest, from a far distance. But I really do like and appreciate the look of the new speaker where the earpiece is now. Well, speaker, ear, this upper part, you know what I'm talking about. Resolution and PPI, these are the things you have to take in consideration. So both of them, believe it or not, they still share the same resolution. 2532 by 1170, and have a PPI rating that could go up to 460. Not bad. Now, it does not have the new active refresh, only the Pro lineup has it. So that said, the 13 Pro iPhone, this one right here, can go up to 120 Hertz. But both also have the latest and greatest generation A15 Bionic chip. They both have rear cameras, well, more than one. So like the 13 right here has a dual 12 megapixel camera, ultra wide and wide. And the Pro also has a 12 megapixel camera, it has a telephoto, it has a wide, and the ultra wide. The 13 does not have optical zooms, doesn't have a 3-time optical zoom. It zooms in 5 times digitally. 13 Pro can go up to 15 times. So it could digitally zoom 15 times and does have 3 optical zooms. Front-facing camera, both actually share the same camera, believe it or not, same sensor, 12 megapixel, true in-depth. So your FaceTime calls and everything will look phenomenal. And then in terms of weight differences, the 13 is actually lighter, and it's definitely noticeable as the 13 weighs only 6.14 ounces. Meanwhile, the 13 Pro actually weighs an ounce heavier, as it's weighted to be 7.2 ounces. Both share the same IPX68 dust and water resistant rating, which is great. All in all, seeing the 2 different color blue choices right here, they don't look that bad. It's just unfortunate that I have to wait 2 hours for me to actually get my hands and get into it and start actually using it. So we're gonna have to stay tuned for the next video for this part. So minus the 2-hour delay that it takes to transfer my data from my old phone to the new one, that's just a quick brief comparison between the 13 and the 13 Pro. Make sure to stay tuned as I'm going to go ahead and do a more in-depth performance testing between the two, so this way you're better informed which one is really right for you. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you got some good useful information out of this video. If you did, greatly appreciate if you guys leave this video a like, as those help me out a lot, and make sure you get subscribed because performance video is coming up, and you guys will see which one I end up keeping at the very end. Something tells me I'm gonna stick with the 13 Pro. It just makes more sense as a content creator. Believe it or not, I actually film most of the stuff with just my iPhone camera. That's how good the camera resolution and the quality is compared to like something like this SLR Sony camera that I personally use that costs the same as this iPhone, to be honest. But the phone does much more than just shoot video and take photos. If you'd like to stick around and watch more videos, check out this video over here as I cover my favorite iOS 15 features, and in the video next to that one, that's just a video YouTube's recommending specifically for you. Thanks so much for watching, take care, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. See ya.